Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you're having a lovely week. This week has just started with a bang, and let's hope that the entire week goes on like that. CAT preparation is a game of perseverance, and if you can persevere, I tell you, you can do it. All right, मैं लाइव भी हूँ, स्ट्रीम भी कर रही हूँ, साउंड भी आ रही है, वो सब हो चुका है. फटाफट से अपने अनाउंसमेंट्स कर देते हैं. लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड विद आवर आर्टिकल फॉर द डे. हियर यू आर. सो न्यूज़, let's get started this ways. Achievers batch for CAT 2022 is an evening batch. It is starting on the 30th of March. Sagar, Ronak, Karishma and Lokesh, all of these lovely teachers will be with you in this batch. Our second batch, the target batch for CAT 2022 with Lokesh sir, Ravi sir and Vineet Kakriya sir. Again, lovely batches that are going on. Guys, before I do anything, I must tell you that the price increase is happening from April 1st. You must act fast to, save money now. A 2-month course also will now be at 7,700. And currently it is at 7,000 rupees. So that means if you buy your subscription right now, you'll end up paying 700. 10% discount mil jayega by using AbhiCAT. So you will end up paying 6,300. So net advantage of 1400, that is 20% का फायदा है अगर अभी सब्सक्राइब कर लो. तो प्लीज यूज करो अभी CAT live and subscribe right away. And this I am telling you in the smallest program. A 12-month course is costing you 22,550 right now. It's going to cost you 24,805 later. Similarly, a 24-month course, that is a 2-year course, is costing you 32,800 right now. It will cost you 36,80 after the price hike. Please subscribe right away. There are lots of savings to be had. All right, Harry, the last chance to get into the top B schools in 2022 is here. You know that CET subscription is available, guys. The plus subscription for MBA aspirants, huge offs for the per month price. So if you're buying our subscription, the per month price for a 12-month course would be 1,879, and for a 2-year course would be 1,367. Imagine the price of 2 pizzas. You can do your CAT preparation. Every month, just pay 1,367 and you're sorted. Your entire CAT preparation is taken care of by us. Iconic courses also, guys. Our iconic courses are the best because you get all the benefits of plus. On top of it, you get one-to-one live doubt solving by experts. You get one-to-one live concept discussion with experts. And you also get one-to-one live mentorship by top B school grads. All of this over an audio call in a language of your choice at a time of your choice. Pricing बहुत अच्छी है. 12-month का course 3,292 में every month. 24-month का course 2,500 rupees every month. And these are like really easy and cheap, right? So not cheap, inexpensive is the right word. Okay, so subscribe please. Use AbhiCAT Live, you'll also get those 10% offs. Ask a Doubt is now available on Unacademy website as well as the app. Amazing things. You can ask for 3 doubts at a go. You can get solutions in a language of your choice. And on top of all of that, if you have a problem with the solution, you can also get the doubts reviewed. So there are amazing advantages to asking your doubts on the Unacademy platform. Do it right away, guys. जितने डाउट्स हैं तुरंत इमीडिएटली सॉल्व करो, इससे अच्छा कुछ हो नहीं सकता है. All right, let's get started with our article for the day. प्यारा सा आर्टिकल है हिंदू से, and here we go. Guys, remember AbhiCAT Live use करना जरूर to subscribe. Here are our words for the day. So words बहुत simple हैं. So standoff. A standoff is a deadlock when दोनों ही पार्टीज एक जगह पे आके अटक गई हैं. ना हम आगे जाएंगे, ना तुम्हें आगे जाने देंगे, ना हम पीछे जाएंगे. We are both stuck at this point. That's called a standoff or a deadlock. Okay, उसका एक positive word होता है status quo. Things as they are. So we've been maintaining the status quo for the last so many years now. ठीक है, so deadlock. Amassed, of course, means collected. You amass a large fortune. That means you have collected a large fortune. Formulation, of course, is a calculation. So there is a formula to the formation of a government. The formulation takes a lot of time and a lot of work. So that's formulation, the calculation of things as they stand. Suffice, of course, means adequate, sufficient. Let it suffice that I have worked hard. So let it be sufficient, let it be adequate. Outreach, of course, is meeting, calling out to people, going out and getting in touch with them. At odds is at differences, at loggerheads. जब आपके difference of opinions हो रहे हो, then you are at odds with someone. Regime, of course, is rule. Raj hota hai regime. So our regime is such and such. So here are your words for our article. All right, talking and listening. On Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi's India visit. So the Chinese Foreign Minister came to India in a blink and you missed it kind of a meeting. So what happened then? Why did he come? And all such things. Let's take a minute. So brief as it was, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi's visit to Delhi on Friday appears to have left behind more questions than answers on its purpose. So why did Wang Yi come? Because he just came for a day and nobody knows what happened, right? So there are more questions than the answers are there. The visit was the first by a senior Chinese official since the military standoff along the LAC began in April 2020. So April 2020, when the crisis happened at the border, after that, this is the first time that a senior Chinese official has visited India. Since then, despite 15 rounds of border commander talks and 8 rounds of meetings of the Special Working Mechanism for Consultation and Coordination on Indo-China Border Affairs, WMCC, friction areas still remain. So since April 2020, we are still having issues, right? There have been so many rounds, 15 rounds of commander talks have happened, 8 rounds of this WMCC meeting have happened, but nothing has really been resolved. Friction areas remain including Patrol Point 15, PP15, which is where the issue is, Demchok and Depsang, where troops have been amassed on both sides. So these 3 places there are soldiers. However, it appeared that during his meetings separately with NSA Ajit Doval, followed by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, Mr. Wang proposed no new mechanism or formulation to break the logjam in those talks, as had been the case earlier. So nothing new has been discussed. He had a meeting with NSA, Ajit Doval, and he had a meeting with the Foreign Minister, S. Jaishankar, but he did not suggest anything new. Instead, the Chinese side only repeated that India must put the differences on the border issue in the proper place in bilateral relations and revive bilateral talks on all issues. Now, here is something that is very peculiar. You step into our border, supposedly, and then when we are upset and we say that, hey, this is wrong, then you come and say, okay, let's keep the border issue aside. We are not going to move back, but let's keep it aside and let's go ahead and talk on border issue, on everything else. That is such a clever move of China. They always do these things, you know, keep aside this, we'll talk about everything else. Why? So that's something. The suggestion was part of a 3-step formula according to a Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs statement that included taking a long-term civilizational view of India-China ties, seeing each other's development as a win-win and cooperating at the multilateral sphere. So somebody in China has come up with this lovely idea that where there will be a 3-step meeting of the minds where we will have a long-term civilizational view, we'll take it. Okay, seeing each other's development, we'll take each other's development as growth for each other. It's a win-win situation, and we'll cooperate at the multilateral sphere. The last point was a reference to China's turn to host the BRICS summit later this year, which Mr. Wang hoped Prime Minister Modi would attend, and India's turn to host the SCO and the G20 summits next year, where Chinese President Xi Jinping would be among the invitees. So we've got some very big summits coming up. This year, the BRICS summit. So China is supposed to host it. Now, Mr. Modi is supposed to go it because I in the BRICS is India. C in the BRICS is China, BRICS, right? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. That's BRICS, right? So India and China need to be there. So India is to be, Mr. Modi is supposed to go there. Next year we have the SCO and G20 summits happening in India, where President Xi Jinping will be here. So they need to have things sorted. However, neither Mr. Wang nor his hosts in the government answered why. If his message did not differ from the past, was he received in Delhi at all? Why was he received? Why did they meet him if he had nothing new to talk about? What was this? That he was merely in the region, सिर्फ घूमने आए हुए थे area में, visiting Pakistan for an OIC conference, Afghanistan to meet with the Taliban ahead of another conference in Beijing, and Nepal to further bilateral cooperation and infrastructure projects, and decided to drop in does not seem to suffice as a reason when bilateral ties seem at a standstill. So if the bilateral ties are at a standstill, हमारा कुछ अभी कुछ नहीं चल रहा है, तो वो ये मोहल्ले में घूम रहे थे इसलिए इधर चले आए, पाकिस्तान गए, अफगानिस्तान गए, नेपाल गए, तो बोले चलो इंडिया भी हो आए. इसका कोई लॉजिक नहीं है. There has to be something more substantial, right? Nor does it explain why the Modi government, which has consistently said it would only hold bilateral talks about resolving the border standoff, departed from this precept to discuss bilateral and international issues. So why is it that Mr. Modi, the foreign minister or the NSA met this person, met the foreign minister? If we were just going to have bilateral talks, then why did we break the norm? Q. Neither side announced Mr. Wang's arrival until the first meetings on Friday. There was no announcement. He just came, right? Dash that there is something more behind the scenes. So of course, this is your blank. What does this word say? It is showing something, right? That there is something more going on. It is also possible that his outreach stems from a desire to compare notes on Ukraine, where India and China find themselves at odds with the Western sanctions regime that threatens to isolate Russia and split global transactions into a dollar versus non-dollar system. So it's entirely possible that they have come to discuss Ukraine and India and China's response, because India and China both are favoring Russia by either abstaining from the votes or by taking cheap oil from Russia or whatever, right? Both countries, and the entire Western world is absolutely putting sanctions on Russia. So is that something that was being discussed? While also finding themselves not entirely comfortable with Mr. Putin's action. So both countries may not be really comfortable with Mr. Putin's action, but still supporting him. Regardless of any common understanding on other issues, however, it is clear that New Delhi and Beijing cannot simply pick up the threads of their conversation. Nahi kar sakte. Until there is a full understanding of events since April 2020 and demobilization by the PLA, followed by the disengagement of troops, is completed. So till such time that PLA steps back, Indian troops step back, everybody goes back into their normal positions, how can talks happen on any front? So that is something that is very interesting. Why has Mr. Wang Yi come to India? What was the reason? That's something for us to find out, guys. All right, what is the purpose of the passage? To praise the Indian government for its quick action, to criticize the Chinese for their aggression, to deny the existence of any border problem, to describe the issues between India and China right now. Good morning, everyone. Archit, good morning. Dishani, Yogesh, Oritro, good morning. Anjali, Sandhya Rani, good morning. Shruti, Aman, Siddharth, good morning. Neil, good morning. Priya, Palak, good morning. Satun, Harsh, Sharanya, good morning. Suraj, Amrita, Krishna, good morning. Palak, good morning. Garv, good morning. Lovely to have all of you guys. I hope everybody's hit the like button. I can see 36 people viewing. I've only got 25 likes. 11 लोग और दे दो भाई. ऐसे तड़प कहाँ सुनते हो? Where do you hear such cries for mercy? And these are not cries for mercy. These are cries for likes. Come on, guys. Good morning, Veer. All right. Yes, the correct answer. Let's take a look. Were we praising the Indian government? No. Were we criticizing the Chinese? No. Were we denying the existence of any border problem? No. So whatever remains has to be your answer. To describe the issue between China and India, yes, that is what ultimately this paragraph or this passage is talking about. Why is Mr. Wang Yi here? Why was he here? That was what the passage was talking about. Each of these mentioned in the passage except, so which is not mentioned in the passage. Let's take a look. Wang Yi visits Delhi. Military standoff at border since April 2020. India and China are at peace with Putin's action, and Yi visited Pakistan for an OIC conference. Come on, guys. Let's get your answers in. Morning, Naveen. How are you? Gaurav, good morning. Guys, thank you so much for all those lovely likes. I have now got 38 likes. अब मेरी खुशी का कोई ठिकाना नहीं है. एक कोई और like दे दो. All right, now interestingly, yes, Wang Yi visited Delhi was mentioned in the passage, so cannot be my answer. Military standoff at border since April 2020 mentioned in the passage, cannot be my answer. He visited Pakistan for an OIC conference mentioned in the passage, cannot be my answer. What is my answer? That India and China are at peace with Putin's action. This is incorrect. We know we are not at peace with Putin's action. Passage has said the exact opposite. So therefore, then this is the one that's not mentioned, and so your answer. I think everybody's got C. बड़े अच्छे से दिख रहा है C ढेर सारा. All right, next question. What is the tone of the author? Very quickly. Regardless of any common understanding on other issues, however, it is clear that New Delhi and Beijing simply cannot pick up the threads of their conversation until there is a full understanding of events since April 2020. And demobilization by the PLA followed by the disengagement of troops is completed. Is it accusative? Is it cautious? Is it neutral? Is it positive? Come on, guys. I'll be very happy to meet you, Naveen. Whenever you come into Lucknow, do send me a message. We'll definitely meet. I'm always happy to meet my students. Always. If you need any help in Lucknow, also, you can just send me a message. I'll do whatever I can. All right, let's take a look. So clearly this is not accusative because we are not pointing fingers at anyone, right? ये नहीं कह रहे ओ तुमने किया ना, not accusative. It's not very positive also. It's not saying oh things are going to be hunky dory in the future. It's not even neutral in tone because it is not saying anything like that. It is not just, so what this one is cautious, that they cannot simply pick up the threads of their conversation until there is a full understanding of the events, followed by demobilization and followed by disengagement. So yes, the author is saying that these things have to happen. So we are going to be very careful of how things are progressing, कैसे कैसे एक step चल रहा है, and then accordingly there will be talks, right? So therefore cautious. All right, let's take a look at this one. So here you are. Neither side announced Mr. Wang's arrival until the first meetings on Friday. Dash that there is something more behind the scenes. A word, pride, castigated or indicated. Or it can be indicating or prying or averring or castigating. I should have given you better choices. So let me say prying. Let me say averring. Let me say castigating. And let me say indicating. So yesterday somebody was saying, ma'am, your handwriting is very bad. Truly it is. My apologies, guys. है मेरी writing थोड़ी सी गंदी, क्या ही कर सकती हूँ. All right, yes, the correct answer. When neither side announced his arrival until the first meetings on Friday, then this is pointing to the fact that there is something more behind the scenes. So I need a word which says pointing to, right? So yes, indicating is the best word that we have. So D, yes, is the correct answer, guys. Absolutely, you guys got it right. Very good. Let's take a look at your scores also very quickly. Scores, please. Yeah. All right, today we are not having the vocab quiz. I'm sure you're aware that today we do not have the quiz. We may have it in the evening if I have the energy. If I don't, then we will not. I will not schedule it. Tomorrow we will go back to having our quiz. No open house also today. Okay, remember to hit like, share, subscribe and the bell icon. Yes, scores. Oh, वर्बलाइजिंग क्लास कब है राधेश्याम? ये क्या है बेटा? हर्ष 4, प्रतीक वीर थोड़ी ही कंदी है हाँ मीन या वीर Harsh 4, Pratik 4, Anjali 4, Yogesh 4, Shivani 4, Satun 4, Shruti 4, Siddharth 4, Sharanya 4, Khushi 4, Archit 4, Shubham 4, Garv 4, Dishani 4, Aman 4, Neil 4, Gaurav 3. Very good, you guys. Excellent. Good job. So proud of you. All right, guys, we will stop the session now. Remember, 1st April से फीस बढ़ रही है, प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कर लो और अभी कैट यूज कर लो, 10% ऑफ मिलेगा फटाफट. Everybody, please, please, please subscribe. Thank you so much. I hope you have a nice day. I will see you at 5 p.m. for our class on grammar and at 8 p.m. for our class on verbal. That was our beginners batch, right? So remember, perfection batch है 5 बजे grammar के लिए और beginners batch है 8 बजे. मिलते हैं दोनों ही batches में. Take care, everybody. God bless you.